good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Happy Tuesday. Hope everyone's doing well. As always, even though it's not Monday, it is Tuesday today. We're doing our Premier League recap, and I'm joined by Jimbo, Elly, and Chang. Jimbo, how are you doing?
Excellent, thank you. Very happy. I think I made a good prediction this week, didn't I?
Oh, don't start. We'll get onto that later. Don't start. Elly, how the devil are you, my lovely?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm not the devil. I'm an angel, and because I've been nursing Angela, as everybody knows, and what a great win, 4-0. Come on, you Spurs, get in.
Exactly, exactly that. And Mr. Chang, how the devil are you?
I am doing very, very well here in Kuala Lumpur, the capital of Malaysia in Southeast Asia. It's been a fantastic weekend for Spurs fans and for neutral fans alike. What a weekend it was. The fixtures just coming thick and fast, and it's hard to believe that we are left with 10 games left in this Premier League season, and I would say it's shaping up to be a very, very nail-biting finish.
Yeah, 100%.
We've got 11, I think.
Yeah, we've got 11 games. Everyone else.
11
10.
for us. Yep.
Yeah. So before we get started, let's have a look who's in the chat. We got Drulala says, "Afternoon, you gorgeous bunch. Hello, chatters. Good to see you, Drula. Mia's in the house. We were just talking about you, Mia. Jim was worried because he didn't know if I'd heard from you. So big up, Mia. Good to see you. Good afternoon, potato stew. Hope you are doing well. Yeah, do what Mia says, or she'll come and find you. Smash the like button and sub, please." Big up Mark CFC. Good win for your lot yesterday. We will speak about them in a bit. They're on the list. Do not fear. We will chat about Chelsea. Big up Martin Knightsbridge. Always good to see you. Afternoon, Benny. Hope you had a good time skiing, and happy birthday to the coffee company. Who's 3, I think, today. So I shall be doing a redirect after this stream, so you can go over and join the party. Yes. GBC fans in the house. Good evening. Good evening to you too. Afternoon all. Hope you're well today. Still buzzing. Yes, indeed. John Clark. Nice to see you. To see you. Nice. In Jimbo, we trust. Yes, we do.
And in Kate. Come on.
Arsenal out of the FA Cup tonight. They're in the Champions League tonight against Porto, aren't they? Yeah, I hope so.
Different competition, but they're at the FA Cup already.
Exactly. Mark says, big up the ladies, and the draw should be a final for them. That's where we're going to start. I'm going to hand over to Elly just to start the show by chatting about the Spurs ladies, because she's the woman in the know. So, Elly, I shall hand over to you.
My heart goes out to the ladies, my former team, doing us proud, making history. Beating Manchester City, who had conceded 10 goals against them, but it was getting less and less. Lost 7-0, lost 2-0, lost 1-0, and then we won 1-1 with the last-minute goal by Beth England. What a great player she's been for us since signing from Chelsea. Scores the late goal, goes into extra time, and we beat them on penalties with Becky Spencer in goal. Lady of the match, or man of the match, or player of the match, whatever you want to call it, she was fabulous. And Amy Turner, our fabulous defender, scoring the winning goal. Come on, you Spurs ladies. Yeah, I was so proud of them, and you know what? I would have gone to the game, be it not for Angela. I can't leave her really in Teos's hands. He can't even cope with himself, yet alone Angela. Right. So, yeah, it was historical as well, because that's the first time in WSL history that we've reached a semi-final. And you know what? I think drawing against Leicester, I was hoping for Leicester, because Man United and Chelsea are rocking it in the WSL. They've been two of the most, well, Chelsea have been with Arsenal and Man United, topping it. So we're up with the big girls. We're playing with the big girls. We go to the final, we play at Wembley, so it'd be fabulous.
Elly.
We got the beating of Leicester as well.
I was going to ask you that. Should we beat Leicester?
Yeah, we've beaten them already this season, and we've also beaten them in previous seasons. They've beaten us just once in 7 games, so we're doing well against them. And, we're at home, and I hope the club let them play at White Hart Lane so we get a capacity stadium.
And we've got a better team this year, right?
fantastic team. We've got the addition of Gracie Clinton, who's on loan from Man United. I really, really hope that she signs for us. She made her England debut the other day and scored as well against Austria. So I think we've got a nucleus of a very great side because the key positions are very strong. We've got a lady from Australia called Charlie Grant, who's a fabulous player as well. So, you know, things are looking up. We've got a little Chinese lady called Kang. Shang Kang, I think her name is. I sometimes get that wrong, but I know her surname's Kwang, sorry. Yeah, so she's proving to be very vital to our team play as well, linking up play. And then we've got Celine Bissett, who's been with us for years. So, yeah, things are looking up at Spurs ladies, and I'm really proud of them. Come on.
Yeah.
Yes, come on, you Spurs. Next season, Elly and I and maybe Mia will be doing a ladies show once a week, won't we, Elly? Because a lot of people are getting more and more interested in ladies football, and rightly so. So we will be doing a show next year, but for now we will always do a ladies update on this show because obviously Ellie's so passionate about it, being an ex-Spurs ladies legend. As she
and I'll
is.
be at the semi-final as well, Kate and Jimbo and Kat and Chang. I'll be there at the semi-final cheering them on. And if we make the final, it'll be so incredible. I'll be so proud of them. You know, even if we don't make the final, but I think we will because we got the beating of Leicester. Come on.
That's what Ben's just put. We should all organise and go to the semi-final together.
Yeah, very true. And have a curry afterwards. Come on.
Yeah, oh, lovely.
Why not Chinese?
Yeah, Chinese, just as good.
Big up to everyone who's just come in that I haven't seen. Piccolo says, Ellie, if we play Man United in the final, can Clinton play?
It doesn't look like it because she's a loanee. So I think they're going to pull it's like the men's game. It'll be the same rules, but I'll have to look it up to make sure because I think it does follow the men's game and she won't be able to play, which is going to be a bit of a shame. So the other thing is if they don't win, then Chelsea win and then we're playing the top team in the league. And they've won 4 FA Cups. No, they've won 3 on the trot. This will be their 4th if we don't stop them, if they get to the final.
No, it won't be. It won't be their 4th.
We've beaten Chelsea in 2 finals with the men, so why not the women follow suit?
Exactly.
Come on.
Big up, AJ. Good to see you. You've been missed. I hope you're feeling better in yourself.
You're on the mend.
Yeah. Aaron Lawrence is here. Said massive big up. I was at the women's game on Sunday. I was so proud, especially to knock the City out the cup. Well deserved. I'm glad you was there. That's good. Nice to see a bit of support. Mark said if we do a ladies show, he can actually have some chest because Chelsea are so bloody brilliant, aren't they, in the women's game? So big up, Ronnie. Miss Ellie, Spurs ladies are managed by your sister here, not some guy named Daniel who don't know a thing about football. Apparently. Women's football's really thriving. Spurs women have my back. Come on, you Spurs. Yeah, it is. It's getting bigger all the time. And that is why we said we would do a show next season. We was going to do one this year, but it just went out my brain.
It was a full house at the Emirates when we narrowly lost 1-0 to them and we'd already beaten them at White Hart Lane. I'm going to call it White Hart Lane. I don't call it that other name. Yeah. So, you know, it's getting bigger and bigger and long may that continue.
Amen to that. Yeah. Amen to that. So it was a bloody good weekend, all in all, for Spurs. Let's be honest. Not only did the women perform, but the men pulled it out the bag. And who would have predicted 4-0 to Spurs, Jimbo? Who would have predicted that?
Well, just got to say, right, I did predict 4-0, but I've got to say a big up to my mate Frank, because he's a Villa supporter, and he took it on the chin. Took it really well, apart from my wife sending him a voice note singing Villa get battered.
Villa get battered everywhere they go. Villa get battered everywhere they go.
Well, he took it well. He took it on the chin and he said we were the better team. So big up to my mate Frank.
Yeah, big up Frankie.
Well, I thought we were fantastic. Do you know what? I've watched some other YouTubers and I can't get my head around why players are still getting slagged down because I thought that everybody on the pitch did their job. And the scoreline proves it. Everybody played well. You know, Kulu was involved in 3 of the goals. Johnson scored. Werner scored. Was only on 2 minutes. Sonny scored a fantastic rocket. Defenders were magnificent. Lost VDV. Dragusin come in, done his job, played brilliant. He's got a good football brain, that guy.
Yeah.
Very good. Porro was good. Udogi was off the scale. Madison was good. You know, took his goal well. He had 2 defenders tight on him. For me, it was just an absolute fantastic game, and I can't say a bad word about any player, and I might be a happy clapper and delusional, but I thought we were absolutely fantastic, and I will not have a bad word to say about any player. They were all on the ball, and the scoreline proves it. 4-0. And who predicted 4-0?
Some pillar fired. Some Wally brain.
Some guy who used to wear dodgy glasses.
The thing is, Jimbo, if you predict 4-0 every week, you're going to get it right eventually.
Well, I don't predict 4-0 every week. Sometimes I predict 3-1. Sometimes I predict 5-0. Right?
Yeah.
But this week, I got it right.
Did you see what Nick said? Jimbo, we win the next 2 games. Arsenal lose against City, and we're 5 points behind them going into North London derby. Bottle jobs.
Right, Nick, let me tell you something, right? I've had this feeling, right, that we was going to beat Villa 4-0. I said to Kate for 3 or 4 weeks, and I've had this feeling for a long time that the North London derby, that we're going to knock them off their perch, and that's going to be their downward spiral. And I've had this feeling for weeks, and I told Kate this, so she knows I'm not lying. And I've just got a feeling we're going to beat Arsenal, and it's going to derail their season. I really have.
Do you know what? I looked up some stats because I'm not the stats person, that's Chang. But I looked up our stats, right? We had 53 points at this stage of the season, last season, right? And we've already got, we had 60 points at the end of the season, right? And we've already got 53 points. And we've got 11 matches to go. So we're way ahead of last year's performance, regardless of if we topple Arsenal. I'd love us to topple Arsenal. That would be the cream on the cake. And for us to win the league as well, how fabulous would that be? It's going to be a hard call because we have to rely on the other teams messing up, not just Arsenal. We need Man City and Liverpool to mess up. So there's a lot that we're banking our hopes on. But, you know, football is a funny old game, like Jimmy Greaves used to say. There you go. That's it in a nutshell.
Ellie, people have been having a whinge about the first half. But if you look at the first half, I mean, I've watched the match twice now, and I've watched the highlights about 4 times. If you watch the first half, we was never ever in trouble. You know, they had one good chance with Watkins and Sham, and I haven't got a clue what he was doing there, why he never shot. That was the only chance they had. We had control of it, you know, and I don't know if they like to feel their way into the game or why they start like that, but we was never really in trouble the first half.
You know why I think he squared it, Jimbo, right? Because Vicario made himself big and he stepped out of his goal just slightly to put him off, and then the defender came across and he thought the best thing to do was pass, but it wasn't. He should have had a shot.
Yeah.
He would have had a better chance of scoring. But that's kudos to our defenders, because especially Vicario, because that goes unseen sometimes. You know, he did make himself big, and he put him off.
I always watch when we play games, I always watch YouTubes from the other side. So I watch Villa, the guys from Villa that do YouTube. I watch them when they go to the game. You know, and one of the guys I watched, he was in the stands, and he was right behind the goal, and he was in absolute disbelief that Watkins never shot. He said that's the first time he's seen him in that position and not go for goal.
I know. He should have whacked it into the bottom right-hand corner, because Vicario made himself big. If he hit it low, he probably would have scored. Hitting it high would have been harder, but he had the opportunity and he muffed it, didn't he? So I'm glad he did.
Yeah. Chang, what are your thoughts on the game? Fantastic win, obviously. What were your thoughts?
My thoughts post-match was that after this particular drubbing from Spurs at Villa Park, this actually brings to mind that comments Gary Neville made about us when we beat Woolwich 3-0 in Conte's first season, in which Gary Neville said that we brutalized Woolwich. I fully believe that we brutalized Villa at Villa Park, and the win is firmly behind our sails. We have the upper hand. It's top four is ours to lose now if we can capitalize on the postponed away match against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. But I would also like to point out that prior to this match, I read a statistic somewhere that Aston Villa had actually scored in every single competitive match they've played this season at Villa Park. And given our rather patchy defense, our inability to keep a clean sheet, I was actually predicting them to at least get the first goal first before we do come back strongly in the second half. I'm so glad that didn't come to pass. I'm so happy for Vicario, Romero and Van der Ven and Udogi and Porro for keeping that clean sheet. Kudos as well to Dragushin coming on, putting a shift, proving his worth, why we splashed the cash and pip Bayern Munich to his signing early in the January transfer window. And yes, I really cannot wait for this coming weekend's fixture against Fulham at Craven Cottage. That's going to be another cracker of a London derby. So my final thoughts on the game was Son Heung-min. Again, Son Heung-min, what a captain.
Yeah.
When you were doing that pre-match pump up with Dave, the Irish Hotspur on We Are Tottenham TV, I actually wanted to put up a super chat highlighting just how important Son was going to be for this match, given how he scored five league goals in his appearances at Villa Park. But I then changed it to more of a an acknowledgement of you, Kate, and Dave as well on that super chat. So that was nice to see Son Heung-min with 1 goal and 2 assists. Brilliant from our current club captain, and I really do hope he uses this as a platform to push on and really go all the way in trying to maybe snatch that golden boot off Haaland. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, I just read AJ's comment. I did start it. I was talking to Jimbo about this yesterday. I said to Jim, what if Angie's tactics are come out slow in the first half, absorb the pressure, let them wear themselves out and kick in the second half. We're all criticising Spurs for starting slowly, but what if while he's got the personnel that he's got, that's how he's choosing to play? Because it's weird that we're starting so slow every game and then kicking in the second half. But maybe we are just doing that, waiting for the team to burn themselves out and then really kicking in. Who knows?
We're a fit team, Kate.
Yeah,
of course we are. Of course
and
we
Man
are.
City do it. Man City do it, but a slightly better level than us. I say slightly because we're getting better and better. And you know what? Possession makes the other team tire. Because I know that from being a midfielder, if you're holding the ball, making them work and making them run and stretching them, passing it side to side to the wings, it stretches their play and they've got to cover a lot more ground. Whereas if you keep it narrow, it doesn't stretch them and then they could just hold their positions and not run about. So I think that is a deliberate ploy by Ange Postecoglou to do that.
Yeah.
So well done for spotting that, everybody.
But I think Villa playing Thursday helped us because I said to Kate towards the last 5 minutes of the second half when we was watching it, I said that Villa looked really leggy, and you could see the second half they weren't the same Villa without any doubt. So I think the Thursday game definitely worked in our favour.
Yeah, definitely. Their legs went, didn't they?
Yeah.
You could see them. Even like players like Diaby, who's really fit, and he came on and he looked leggy as well. And he's noted for his fitness in running, isn't he? He's like their star. He gets forward and joins the attack so well.
Yeah. Ronnie's saying the atmosphere at the North London Derby is going to be special. Can't wait. I am so excited already. I cannot bloody wait. for that. Lynn said, Kate, putting all the rivalry to one side, would you rather have City or Liverpool rather than putting a London club on the map? I want anyone but Arsenal to win the league, but if I had to choose out of the ones that are likely to, I'd pick Liverpool. Chang, what if you had to choose Liverpool, Arsenal, or Man City to win the league? Who's your pick?
I'm still going to stick with Manchester City. I really thought they had a beating of Liverpool over the weekend when they took that well-deserved lead from that John Stones goal from the corner. Yep, at the near post. They also they had chances to snatch it right at the end as well. Jeremy Doku, very unlucky with his shot that came off the right post right at the very end. That was kind of unlucky, but it was a 50-50 game. Both teams had chances to win it. So given the historical track record, Manchester City have the upper hand. And
but if you could choose, if you could actually choose who you want to win it, would it still be Man City?
Yes, definitely. Most definitely Manchester City.
Okay. Ellie, who would yours be if you could choose?
100% Liverpool, and I'll tell you for why. As my daughters say, I've got that saying from them. I'll tell you for why. Right? Because they deserve to win it. Right? They've been the best team this season, in my opinion. They've played some beautiful football. They've grinded out results when they haven't played as well, right? Which is a sign of a championship winning team. And I'm just fed up of Man City winning it. For God's sake, go away, Man City. Do you know what I mean? They're like, they came from obscurity to win everything that there's ever in their way. They win everything, right? So I just fed up with them, right? And also, I like Liverpool as a club. I like what they did when the furlong thing happened, you know, and their supporters got behind all of that. And I loved that documentary they did from the Hillsborough disaster. I just got an affiliation with Liverpool. They're in my heart as well. And I said on Mia's, you know, Christmas 12 days of Christmas, that Liverpool, I would have supported them if I didn't support Spurs. Because I just see they love their football. They are real football people, and I just love their club. I think they're brilliant. You know, even Jurgen Klopp, you can put up with his teeth, can't you, now and then?
Yeah, he's a good. I like him in the Premier League, whether you like him or not. He's such a character to have. I would choose them. Jimbo, who would you choose?
I'd choose Tottenham.
Now, if you had to pick out Man City,
I was going to say that.
Arsenal, or Liverpool to win it,
I choose Tottenham.
I knew. That's that.
Answer again, or you're not. Or I'm going to kick you out.
He's just got to the loo.
Well, definitely not Arsenal,
right?
And the thing is, I'm going to have to say City, right? And I know that they've been done.
Pumpkin eaters.
Listen to me. Let me finish. Right. A few months ago, I would have said Liverpool, right? But I've got to say City because the Liverpool fans just don't stop. And even the other day, Kate, the guy on Talk Sport, and you went, I bet he mentions about when we beat them that they were robbed by VAR. What was the first thing out of his mouth? We should have 3 points from Tottenham. They only beat us because of VAR. It's like, no, I can't have it. Because they won't stop chirping after, and at least you don't hear much from City fans.
Yeah, that's because they're not used to all this success. Really, they're used to that. But they weren't a successful club like Liverpool. Liverpool got standards, and because their standards have gone lower, any little niggle, any little thing that goes against them, they'll beef it out. That's what they're like. They're very mouthy people in terms of they love their football and they're passionate, but sometimes I know what you mean, Jimbo. Sometimes it can be,
and they're not part of England. Remember, they think that they're another country.
It's like in Spain with the Catalans, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, maybe they speak.
They've almost become like a sovereign state.
Yeah, exactly.
for bin dippers.
We'll get Hossam in a minute.
Yeah. The way Liverpool run is better than City, and I would rather eat shit than see the Arsenal win. Yeah. I kind of agree with that.
Yeah. We'll share a plate, Leah.
Big up David Shearer who's come in, and Jose, and all sorts. Couva Bears come in.
Come on,
Chelsea boy. Big up to everyone. Cole Patrick Vineyard, Rakesh. Big up to everyone who's coming in. Rakesh says, Uncle Jimbo, are we still in the title race? We are mathematically still in it. By chance, if they lose 3 games and we win, last game will be decided.
Come on.
Look, I can't. It won't come out. I don't like saying that one of them 3 is going to win it. So yes, we are still in a title race.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm not bullying him. I'm just giving him a bit of a kick up the backside to be realistic.
If it happens, though, he'll be kicking you up your backside, Kate.
And I'll be enjoying it because Tottenham will have won the league. He can do as he pleases.
Lovely. Hope we win the league.
He'll be swinging your red knickers round the living room.
Everyone's saying hello to each other. Pottermac says, fans talking about the difference in 2 halves. It's simple. The defence is structured. It simply isn't easy to break. If we played the game, it's obvious. Yeah, we do tend to struggle to break down low blocks early on, though. But that could be, like I say, it could be a tactic. I don't know. I will ask you before we move on, Jimbo, who was your man of the match for the Aston Villa Spurs game?
It's very hard because you could give it to a few of them, but I think Sonny was fantastic. I think that I'll give it to Kulu. All right, and I tell you why, because the guy just fought his backside off to win these balls back, win them back, and he done it, and it led to 3 goals for us. So I'm going to give it to Kulu. I don't know what people want out of the man. You know, I've seen people still slagging him down. I thought he had a good game. He didn't do a lot wrong for me. He didn't, and he was everywhere. He was on the wing, in the midfield, fighting. So for me, I'm going to give it to Kulu because I thought that he was a massive, massive part of us winning that game. Huge.
Ellie, who was your man of the match? I know it is difficult, which is good because it shows how good we were.
There were so many good performances from Johnson, from VDB before he went off. Dragusin coming on was fantastic. Took one in the balls for the team as well, as you saw. He recovered very quickly. I was well impressed.
He did. He must have balls of steel
for the whole day. Right, so I would love to share it. Right, because Sarr played absolutely brilliant, and that sublime world-class cross, fantastically weighted.
Sarr was good, yeah.
Brilliant. But I'm going to give it to Son, right, because he worked his socks off. He was everywhere. His pressing was immense. He was helping out here and there. He was dropping into midfield, picking up the ball. He was spraying passes left, right, and centre. He was so good. And
scored an assist.
Up too. What more do you want from a player?
Yeah.
I just don't get the animosity sometimes towards Son from some of our fans. It's like it's unwarranted. But I'll give it to Son. But the moment of the match for me, right? You know what I'm going to say, right? Was that little shimmy in the dummy by Højbjerg. Wow.
Oh no.
You know, I just got off my seat and I went, yes, Højbjerg, come on, get it. You know what? I was so proud of him because he came on and he held down midfield. All right, they went down to 10 men. But you know what? Sometimes when you play against 10 men, it's tougher because those 10 men will fight for every ball. And I was very impressed with Johnson as well. I must give him a shout out because he was very close to getting my man of match. I know I put Sarr there as well, but Johnson was absolutely brilliant. He just done one bad pass, which he passed off the field. But everything else, and I liked his shithousery towards Begin as well. I like that because in football, when you see one of your opponents foul your player and he's really gone for him, he hasn't gone for the ball. I think he was brave enough to go against John McGinn as well, who's no slouch. He'll deck you one. wouldn't he?
Yeah.
He'd knock you out. So yeah, but Sonny's my man of the match. Go on, Sonny.
Yeah,
What
big
a
up
player.
Pierre. I will say big up to Højbjerg. I thought you done excellent when he came on. So I will give a little bit of credit to your man there, Ellie.
Yes, come on.
Chang, who was your man of the match?
I think Queen Ellie has said everything that needs to be said about Son Heung-min and his contributions in this match, as well as his leadership on and off the pitch. 1 goal and 2 assists away at Villa Park is nothing to be sneered at. But for me, Son Heung-min really showed his true leadership qualities during the match itself. That one very nasty incident involving John McGinn and Destiny Udogie. Son Heung-min was actually the first player from both sides to get in between Brennan Johnson and Maddison from trying to rough up John McGinn on the touchline, and that showed a lot of maturity from Captain Sonny. The other bit of leadership which I really loved from Sonny towards the end, when Timo Werner scored his goal, our 4th goal in the 5th minute of extra time. And what Sonny did was very similar with Richarlison, in which he sort of nudged Timo Werner towards the away end to get the applause from the traveling fans, and that was nice to see, to sort of like inspire or try to insinuate that, you know, the Spurs fans should give Timo Werner a round of applause. And that for me just sums it up for what I felt was a perfect man of the match performance from club captain Sonny.
Okay, can I just say, GBC put in the chat earlier that he thinks Sonny's a better captain than Kane. And I think that he's 100% right. I think
Kane wasn't our captain, was he? Hugo was.
Yeah, but Kane was captain
a little bit when Hugo got dropped.
Yeah.
I think Sonny's one of the best captains we've had for a long time.
Yeah, I agree. It's hard. I feel like I should mention Johnson. I feel like I should mention Sarr. Thought Van der Ven was good. I thought Udogie was incredible. But I would have to give it to Sonny, because he's just... It's not only how brilliant he was, his own performance. He's just such a great captain. The way he leads the team, the way he gets the fans going. I love him so much. I really do. And he's proved me wrong. I didn't think he had it in him to be such a wonderful captain. And yeah, for me, it was a man of the match performance. He makes such a difference to our squad. And I just hope that he lives and plays for us forever, and he never, ever gets old. Peter Pan.
You're right. He's not just a captain to the players. He's a captain to the fans as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. He uses Tottenham Hotspur from every crevice of his body, that man.
Yeah.
On the pitch, off the pitch, going to hospitals to see sick children. He's just Tottenham. He's Mr. Tottenham Hotspur. He's such a lovely man as well. And what an infectious smile he's got. You know, win, lose or draw, he comes off that push. Obviously, when we've lost, he's disappointed. You can see it really does hurt him. And that's a sign that he really does care about our club. Because some players, they just run off the pitch like they're ashamed that we've lost. And they they don't even clap the fans sometimes, which I find disgusting, right? And I just feel he's just one of these players that you just love. He's such a brilliant captain.
Yeah, AJ, I agree. Those have been nothing but disrespectful about Werner. He had played 7 games, has 4 goal involvements. I mean, I said last week on our Wedded Bliss, I think we should sign him. This was before this game. I see a really good addition to our squad there, and I think he's a bargain price. And Johnson as well. He showed characteristics we've all been crying out for this weekend. I loved how he was the first to go over and confront John McGinn. I thought that was class, because he's not exactly the biggest guy in the world, and he went flying over. But he showed composure. He was ready to take on his man. So, big up to Johnson and also to Werner as well. Yes, you did say Sonny for captain, Ben. Big up Bobby K. Yes, there's lots of stuff I've been wrong about. I'm always muddied, Bobby, but at least I admit when I'm wrong.
Okay, can I just say I just got a voice note from Steve D.
Yeah.
He said he's listening in the car, and he said to say hello to everyone.
Oh, hello,
Steve D.
And he's loving the show.
Drive careful, don't crash.
As well.
Yeah.
Big up, Steve D.
Yeah, yes. Legend. Obviously, another win on, was it Saturday night? Saturday afternoon?
Yeah, Saturday late afternoon.
Yeah, Arsenal beat Brentford. Thought they was very unimpressive, which again, people could say, well, that's a sign of a championship winning team. But I thought they were quite average on the day. Did you see it, Chang, the Arsenal game or the highlights, and what did you make of their performance and their win?
I saw a bit of the first half towards the end when Arsenal were leading, and it really surprised me. Ramsdale, that real blunder right at the end of the first half, gifting the equalizer, and then at the beginning of the second half, again, he was nearly caught up by Ivan Toney from way out. Thankfully that he was able to save his blushes. But what can I say? Arsenal are on a roll. They are now top of the league thanks to the stalemate between City and Liverpool. They really seem to have got their act together, but I would still fancy either Liverpool or City to come back strong. Don't get me wrong, they really have put up together a good squad. They are firing on all cylinders. They are really finding it. Teams are really finding it difficult to break them down, and there is that winning mentality that Mikel Arteta has really instilled into the team since he took over. We were all laughing at them when they fell short on fourth when Conte took over, but you could say that they are now in the ascendancy. The only thing which I really hope come the end of the season is that I do hope we beat them at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. But yeah, that was a game that Arsenal were well and truly on top of, and it was always 3 points for Arsenal.
Yeah. Ellie, what are your thoughts? Can I just say this top is not bloody red? Can everyone stop saying it's red? It's bright bloody pink.
It's pink.
Because you can see it's bloody pink. I swear to God.
They've got your number, isn't it, Kate?
Go on, Ellie, sorry.
No, it's okay. You have to prove that you're not a gooner, isn't it, sometimes? Right, so yeah, I thought Arsenal were very laboured. They still were the better team. They're better football inside than Brentford, just put it that way. But Brentford gave them a good game. They really did. They had their chances as well. They were pressing very well. And I think Thomas Frank made one vital mistake. Whether it was a mistake because Vissa was injured, but I thought he was fabulous. He was pressing so well, right? And I like that player, I really do. And it didn't surprise me when he closed down Ramsdale and got his goal, because I don't know if you saw the previous week, what a fabulous sort of overhead kick like Gareth Bale did for his goal last week. So I just thought Arsenal were the better team though. But what I would say, which a lot of people haven't noticed, they were actually better on points last season at this stage of the season. So they haven't improved points-wise.
Maybe, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they were much better off. And another thing, right? I think they were playing even better last season at this stage of the season. It was just the last 5 or 6 games they fell off the wagon and they let Man City take them over. Really, from about 8 or 9 games, but the last 5 or 6, that's when they lost it, especially in the last 5. So I would argue that they were better last season. But what people have pointed out is that they're staging themselves so nobody thinks they're going to run away with it, and they're slowly grinding out results here, there and everywhere, and they've made massive results as well to give them a fabulous goal difference. I think they're plus 7. Is it plus 70? Plus 40 or 50, something like that. Anyway, regardless what their goal difference is, I think they were better last season at this stage of the season. And I heard also somebody say that they've signed a £100 million player and Levy hasn't done that. Well, that £100 million player hasn't improved them in terms of points. That's my argument. So not always £100 million players make you a better team in terms of accumulating points. The proof is in the pudding now. There's 10 games to go for them, 11 games to go for us. So let's see who's going to come higher. You know, we've always caught them up as well and overtaken them. So it is possible, Kate. Don't lose faith. Don't lose faith. Get onto Jimbo's train. That's what I
say. I do think, although Declan Rice, although they haven't improved points-wise, I think he's made such a massive difference to their team. I think he's been exceptional this season.
Yeah, he has been exceptional. Yeah, I agree with that. He's been their best player, actually.
Yeah. Jimbo, any thoughts on Arsenal without swearing?
Yeah, they're wankers.
I just said don't swear. I've just put monetisation on.
I'm sorry.
Honestly, he's useless.
That was a slip of the finger, a slip of the mouth.
Yeah. I don't like them. I don't want them to win nothing. And I don't like them. They were lucky against Brentford. Brentford were the better team on the night. And I thought Brentford played really well and had the better chances. So, but Kate did say with about 10 minutes left that Arsenal would nick it, and they did, yeah. But do you know what? They can't keep. They won't keep nicking games like that. And they've played at home a lot this season, right? I think it's their last 6 games, they've only got 1 at home.
There you go.
So I think they've got 5 away. I'm sure it's their last 6 games, but they've got a lot of away games to come, and I can't have it. I can't have them winning it, no. And they're WANKERS's.
Pottermac, I said exactly the same thing to Jim yesterday. I said, to me, City still don't look like themselves, and I think they underestimated how much Gundogan did to their team. I think they missed him so much. They look disjointed to me still. I don't think they look anywhere near as good as they have done. But
they're not as fluid, are they?
Yeah.
They're not as fluid. When they hit their niche, but they don't hit their niche enough in matches. You know, before they dominated the match, but when they played against better teams like Liverpool and even us, all right, they did have a lot of the ball early doors, but we came back into it. They're not dominating games like they did last season.
Yeah, I agree. Bobby, thanks for the super chat, says, why is Kate wearing red and not pink? Anyone with half a brain can see it's pink. So if you can't, that means you haven't got half a brain. Nick says never red. Agreed. Better dead than red and all that. Arsenal's a level above us right now. One decent result against Villa. Don't blind me. We're just started as a process. Yeah, agreed. Lovely couple you two are. Thank you very much.
Thank
One
you.
of us is anyway.
Yeah, that's me.
Thank you. Me and Chang make a lovely couple.
I think Pep. Right, yeah, we're going to go on to this one next. Liverpool 1, Man City 1. I think a lot of people predicted this as a draw. I was absolutely praying that they'd give a penalty at the end for Liverpool. Although I don't think it was a penalty. I still hope they'd give it. Chang, did you watch the match? Did you think they cancelled each other out? What did you make of it?
I was only able to watch the highlights on Match of the Day too. On the balance of play, I would say it was a very even game. Both teams had more than their fair chances to win the match. That Luis Diaz missed when he was put 1-on-1 by that glorious through ball by Mohamed Salah. I believe that was the best chance any team had in the second half to nick the points for all three at Liverpool when it was still in the balance at 1-1. But Liverpool, they rode their luck. Manchester City, they rode their luck as well. Both teams cancelled each other on the first half. I felt that the goalkeeper, Ederson, Manchester City goalkeeper Ederson, he gave away that penalty in the beginning of the second half. I think it was something like 90 seconds into the second half, and he gave away the penalty, and that completely changed the complexion of the game. At 1-1, at 1 apiece, from the highlights that I saw, Liverpool actually had the had the better of the chances before Manchester City came back strongly. The penalty shout, as you mentioned earlier, Miss Kate, that was contentious, but the officials, they've had their time, they've had fair fair deliberation on as to whether it was a penalty or not. And in the end, I think the result was a fair result for both teams. The points are shared. Arsenal now have the upper hand in terms of the league positions as well as their goal difference, but I really wouldn't write either Liverpool or Manchester City off just yet. It was a great Sunday fixture. What a way to end the weekend. Their coming fixtures will be favorable for neutrals alike, and if anything, if this game was if this game's anything like what the season is coming to a head, I really cannot wait for the end of the season.
Yeah. Couva Bear, you're so mean to me. I'm not wearing bloody. I swore I'd never wear this top on stream again, and I've worn it today because I went to the doctors and it was the first top I saw. So I'm never wearing it again after today. I promise you that. But thank you for the super chat. Jimbo, what did you make of the? I think you was a bit underwhelmed by the game.
Yeah, it was a bit. I was a bit underwhelmed with it. I thought it was going to be a better match. I mean, overall, I think that it was probably a 50-50 game. It wasn't a penalty. He pulled his leg out. He didn't follow through. They were saying on the commentary that he followed through. He didn't follow through. If they give a penalty for that.
You hit the nail on the head because a few commentators said once they saw it on slow motion again, they were edging towards a pen. But as you said, it wasn't clear and obvious, so they couldn't really give it.
Yeah, it wasn't a penalty. It wasn't clear and obvious. And he did try to pull. Once he hit the ball, he pulled his leg away. So if they can start giving penalties for that, we're in trouble. But I think it was a fair result, 1-1. Obviously, we wanted one team to win because of the Gooners. But it was a fair result. But I don't think it really matters in the title race. I still don't think Arsenal will win it. I just think that Liverpool and City have got too much about them. They're both teams are born winners, aren't they? You can just tell every time they go on the pitch, they're there to win. So I can't have Arsenal going to win it.
I knew that was coming.
Oh, you should have done it on screen.
Yeah.
Sod being told I'm wearing red. That jumper is going in the bloody bin. I swear to God. Ellie, what did you make? Oh, I'm glad. I like the fact Ellie noticed like straight away.
Yeah. It's a woman thing, isn't it, Kate?
It is.
Like,
it is.
I thought if you did it on screen, we would have had a whole new audience. And I think Jimbo would have run up the stairs.
He'd have fell up the stairs, not down the stairs.
Get into the game now. Get into the game. Yeah, I thought
what
it was pretty 50-50, but Liverpool had the best chances, especially Luis Diaz. He had 3 optimum chances to score, and he messed them all up. The first one, he took too many touches, like Werner did the previous week against Palace. He just took too many touches, and then he couldn't get it from under his feet, and he ended up messing that one up, and then he messed up another 2. The best one, I agree with Chang, was when Salah put him clean through, and he messed that one up as well. So, you know what? I think with the penalty, it's a high foot. It is a high foot. He's literally put his leg up to sort of chest level of the other player. But because, like, I agree with Jimbo, he pulled his leg away. Otherwise, I think it would have been deemed as dangerous play because he didn't follow through. You can't give it. You can't give it because he's going for the ball. He's actually touched the ball. If he hadn't touched the ball, I think they might have given that because of a high foot. Because of the high foot.
If he'd have followed through, Ellie, and then I would have agreed it was a penalty, but he didn't. He pulled his leg out.
Yeah, he pulled his leg away, and also he got a touch on the ball. I think if he didn't get a touch of the ball and his leg was high, they might have looked at it different, even though he didn't follow through.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was a contentious issue. But the whole game, I found it quite interesting. It's like they cancelled each other out, really, in terms of the amount of play they had. And then the main thing that made me laugh was when De Bruyne was taken off. He was right cheesed off.
I know.
Oh my God! It was like, how dare you? How dare you take me off? And his hair was flop, and his hair was flopping around like. Oh my God!
It was all like that.
That on Ben's show on Brewing Bollocks. You know what I mean? Brewing Bollocks. Right? Oh my God! Stop being a De Bruyne. We should introduce that on Ben Show. Stop being a De Bruyne. You know, and like, and then the pep talk to him. What was said there? I would have loved to have been a fly on the seat, not on the ball, to hear what he had said to De Bruyne to get him to sort of calm down because he was fuming.
He was going on about it for ages as well, De Bruyne. He wouldn't let it go. He was proper going on and on.
Yeah, like and Pep Guardiola, he's not really touchy-feely, is he? He's like,
no,
he regrets doing it. He regrets touching somebody. He's not that sort of manager, right? Yeah, so I found it an intriguing game. It wasn't the best spectacle that we were expecting, but it was an interesting game, and I think the fair result, 1-1.
Yeah, I agree with this. If Romero had done that, it would have been a penalty, red card, outraging the media, etc. I will say, when he took De Bruyne off, I think that was a strange substitution anyway, because he was the one who looked most dangerous on the ball.
Yeah, he was cooking, wasn't he?
He was. Who am I to question Pep? But yeah, it was quite funny.
Football, so you should question him. Come on,
Big up Nippon says, question for the panel in chat. Do you think we are witnessing the downfall of Kevin De Bruyne? And not in a million years for me.
No.
I think it's still epic. No.
I don't think so. He's still got the minerals. He has
100%. Yeah. I think any team in the world would take him.
That's why I think we took him off, because match fitness is very important. And if you overplay a player, however good he is, like we've seen it with Bentancur, he's getting burnout, isn't he, at 60 minutes, and sometimes even before that. So I think Ange Postecoglou has worked with Bentancur and he realises himself as well, because he pulls up. And with Kevin De Bruyne, he's got so many attributes. He's just fantastic. Yeah. What a player.
He is. He's absolutely brilliant. Before the Chelsea game, I heard on TalkSport that Pochettino has come out and said that if players don't like him, they should go and speak to Todd Bowley. So it sounds like there's a bit of friction going on at Chelsea, but Pochettino seems to have had enough of all the sly comments behind his back or whatever's going on. Did you watch the game, Chang, or last night, or did you watch any highlights? What do you think of Poch?
I didn't watch the highlights. I was able to watch some highlights earlier this afternoon during my lunch break here at the construction site, and I felt it was always Chelsea's to lose. They had total control of the match. Newcastle actually made the scoreline flattering. I believe it was Jacob Murphy, who put one back to make the scoreline look more respectable. But Chelsea were always in the ascendancy, and that first half, once Nicholas Jackson scored as early as the 6th minute, there was only going to be one winner in it. Although Alexander Isak did manage to equalize towards the end of the first half, Chelsea themselves then pulled one back. They took the lead again early second half. Cole Palmer, yet another goal from him, and when Mikhailo Mudryk scored in the 76th minute, the result was pretty much sealed even before the 90th minute. So Chelsea are gaining a head of steam right now in the league. I wouldn't be surprised if they were to challenge all the way for maybe 7th or 8th. They may even be high on the hot coattails of Manchester City. But yeah, that was a morale boosting win for Chelsea nonetheless. And those Pochettino comments that came out prior to the match were kind of strange. It kind of reminds me of the final few weeks of Jose Mourinho's tenure at Chelsea, whereby there was unrest. There was some sort of like mutiny amongst the players, and we are now again witnessing player power taking an ugly turn over at Stamford Bridge. I really hope that Pochettino sorts it out. Otherwise, his future at Chelsea is going to be in jeopardy. But yeah, that was an entertaining game. Chelsea Newcastle from the highlights. I wish I had more time to watch some of these matches, but unfortunately, this has been a really, really tiring week for me. But yeah, what a weekend it was! What a fantastic round of fixtures with 10 league games to go, 10 rounds left for the remainder of the season.
Yeah, 100%. Apparently, Mark says that he thinks some of the players have already gone straight to Todd Bowley. So there's definitely something going on at Chelsea. Ellie, what did you make of the game, or what you've seen of it, and what about Poch?
Yeah, I only watched the highlights, but I watched it on YouTube because we were watching Big Brother, which is far more important.
My nephew's going to that tonight. He's going to the live show, whatever it is that they do at night time tonight.
Oh, right. Okay, that's good. That's
brilliant.
Yeah.
Thomas.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was a very good match, very entertaining, what I saw of the highlights. Lots of good goals. I just feel Chelsea, right, they're going to turn the corner. They will, because they always do. And I think they've started turning the screw a little bit with their FA Cup performances. They're in the quarter-final. They already made the final. So it's not, they're not up to standard that what we're expecting from Chelsea, but it takes time. So I think these players doing this mutiny to Todd Bowley is disgraceful, really, because first of all, I mean, Poch is enjoying the free lunches, isn't he? And he loves it. He's there. He's first at the buffet. That's one thing for sure, because he's put on a little bit of bandage. But the thing is, I'll get serious though, because I think Poch needs time, because we saw it at Spurs, what a fabulous team he made us. We were sensational, right? And he's got the crux of a good team. He just needs a few cogs here, experience, to gel all those young players as well, and then take a few of them out, give them a rest on the bench. And then I think he'll be cooking, because I don't want him to. I'd rather him get the boot, but the thing is, you can see Chelsea are starting to look more of a side than early season, and they're getting quite good results here, there, and everywhere. So, yeah, I don't want them to do well, but I like Poch as well, so I don't want him to get the boot unceremoniously like that, because the players have gone. I want him to get the boot because they just don't think he's good enough. You know, the actual club itself, not the players. The club don't believe in what he's doing.
Jimbo, what do you make of it? All the shenanigans at Chelsea.
I think they won. I'm pleased for Mark. He's the first thing that comes into my head when Chelsea win, is I know he's going to be happy. I said it from day one. I don't think he's a Chelsea manager. I didn't think he would do well there, and I don't think he fits in there. So I don't think he'll be there much longer. He's just not a Chelsea type manager. And more, I would say probably 75% of the fan base don't like him. Obviously, now some of the players don't want him, so I think he'll be gone soon. But a good win. I don't know if Mark knows this, but their goal, Jackson's goal, is the earliest goal they've scored at 6 minutes in 5 years. That's what the commentator said on the game. So it's the earliest goal they've scored in 5 years, which is quite bad, really.
Yeah.
So not happy, Jim, but it's 3 points. Yeah, still a win. And Newcastle ain't a pushover. So it's a good win, Mark.
I was listening to Talk Sport this morning on my way to the doctors, and they were debating whether Eddie Howe is going to stay at Newcastle. Now, I think he's a brilliant manager. I wouldn't want him at Spurs, but I do think he's a brilliant manager, but I'd love to see him at England.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be there.
I
think they're sacking the end of this season. Does anyone else agree or disagree?
100%.
100%, Kate. He won't be there because they'll look for
100%.
Yeah. 100%. And I'd love him to be England manager. He'll play the right type of football and play the right type of players than Southgate. All right, Southgate has been our most successful manager since Alf Ramsey won us the World Cup. But I don't care about that. I care about the style of football we're playing. And he's got all those brilliant players, guys, and he doesn't utilise them in the right way. And sometimes he doesn't even play them from the start. I know. I just don't like Southgate. So Eddie Howe, come on, go for the England job, man. It's there for the taking.
Yeah, I think Newcastle will be looking to sort of, I don't mean this disrespectful, but kind of level up because they want to start competing and winning trophies. And I'm not sure Eddie Howe is the right man for that. But I feel sorry for him.
Isn't he?
Yeah.
You have to have a ruthless, cutthroat manager to be at that top. Someone who gets on with the players but steps back as well. He doesn't get too close to the players. I think Poch is very much friendly, you know. That's why you're right about that. Chelsea doesn't suit him.
No. Yeah.
Jimbo said it, innit?
Hold on one second.
He's too nicey. Is that Poch on the phone?
No, it was someone at the door collecting a parcel that there's not a parcel. I don't know what's going on. Newcastle need to realise they have the richest owners, but not the richest club. They are where they should be. Overachieved last year, and bar a dodgy decision, could have been in the knockout stages. Exactly what I was going to say. I think Eddie Howe overachieved last year, and now he's kind of paying the price. And I think that's kind of what Poch did at Spurs. I think he overachieved a bit with Champions League final, and then he's forever trying to emulate that success, if you like. But I think
Champions League he got us to. He got us second, third in a 2-horse race.
Yeah.
So we were challenging at a top level, Kate. It wasn't just a Champions League. We were brilliant, and we were the most exciting team to watch under Poch. Even Ange Ball has not reached it yet. Once he gets his players and he makes his team, Ange Ball will be cooking even more, right? And we'll see the fruition from it. But with Poch, he made that team. It was so good to watch. Modric, Van der Vaart, Bale, you know, and at the back, Toby and Toby and Yang. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Then we had Carl Walker and Danny Rose. Absolutely brilliant, you know.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for us, Kane got injured on the way to the Champions League. And then the Champions League final, he was like a dead donkey, weren't he?
He was, yeah.
He really was.
And then, of course, Man United beat Everton 2-0. I mean, for me, Man United, I don't think they're really going to catch us or Villa, whoever it may be, into full spot. But I suppose just getting into Europe for them, considering how poor their season's been, will be some sort of achievement. What do you think, Chang?
Again, I believe this result was very flattering for Manchester United. The 2 penalties in the first half effectively killed the game. Bruno Fernandes scoring his first league goal since August of last year really sums it all up for Manchester United and Erik ten Hag this season. They really haven't gotten their act together, despite very big profile, very expensive signings, the likes of Anthony and man, what I can't even remember the other guy's name. The guy with the
Garnacho.
Garnacho, yep, that's the name. Yep, Garnacho and Anthony.
The guy with the hair.
Those two. Yep, the guy with the hair. But this is one of the reasons. That is one of the reasons why this match alone just showcases their inability to really just score from open play. And a lot of people were saying how Marcus Rashford was having a bit of a mini renaissance earlier this year, 2024. But if anything, this game once again highlights just how hit and miss he can be at times. And it will be a very, very, it will take a very brave betting man to back Manchester United in challenging either us or Aston Villa for that 4th spot. To me, if I were Erik ten Hag, 6th or even 7th is the best they can hope for from between now to the end of the season. And if they are not careful, they may even be pipped by the likes of Newcastle and Chelsea, who are secretly but very steadily trying their best to catch up to them. So this was a game that was not much. There was not much excitement to this. As I mentioned, those 2 penalties pretty much effectively killed the game as a contest in the first half. And Everton are Everton. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, what can I say? There was so much high hopes for him at the beginning of the season, and this was coming from Sean Dyche, even before the season had properly started. So that's a failed another failed season for Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and it's almost back to the drawing board now for Sean Dyche and co.
Yeah, Graham. I mean, go just quickly on Man United. For me, the two most overrated players in the league, Jimbo and I always say it, is Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford. I think they're so overrated. They were hyped up beyond all belief. I think Rashford had one great season and he's bang average after that. And Fernandes is just a whingy little bitch. Ellie, what are your thoughts on the match?
Second that. I don't know. I just thought Man United are quite flat this season. It's like they don't want to play for the manager. They've lost all hope of. There's no plan. There's no style. There's no continuity, which is Man United have been famous for their style of play. Everybody who tuned in when they were playing early, like from the 80s onwards, they were fabulous. Like late 80s into the Premiership years, they were the team to watch, weren't they? And now you watch them, it's like a shadow of themselves, right? Which I like, in particular, because, you know, it means that we're taking their spot up and we're progressing rather than them. But I was interested to watch you on the terrace when Terry went on his rant about. I was watching you, Kate, your face, because he went on that rant where he called out all Ten Hag's frailties and all Ten Hag's things that have happened since he's taken over, which are atrocious. Yeah, you know, like any other manager, he probably would have got the chop, but I think they do like him at Man United, and I don't know, they're sticking by their man. But if it was me, if I was the chairman of Man United, he would have been gone, because Man United have got standards. Yeah. They're not living up to half their standards, yet alone the whole standard. But I just feel they've lost their way, and the main thing is their identity as a club, and all the shenanigans that have gone on that are really bad for the club. You know, not a very good PR exercise there in terms of what all the other stuff that's going on, yet alone the football. So yeah, it's like the fall of a giant, and Manchester City have jumped into their boots and they've kept those boots on. They've got the cowboy boots on as well, haven't they now?
They have.
You know, they're going, yeehaw!
And not to mention the fact that the stadium's falling down as well, just to add insult to injury.
Oh my God, that's another thing.
Yeah. Any thoughts on the game, Jimbo?
Well, Man United bore me. Everton bore me. Bruno Fernandes is a little rat-faced twat. Rashford is just so overhyped. He had one good season. He's just an absolute boring footballer as far as I'm concerned. And Man United, they're gone now. They're not the team they were, and their fans think that they're still entitled to be up there. No, they're not entitled to be up there because they're not good enough to be up there. It's as simple as that. They're not the team they were, and it's going to be a long time before they are that team again, if they ever get back to there. You know, they had their spell where they was the best team in the world, but they're not the best team in the world now, and they can't attract players like they used to. They think they can, but they can't. And both teams just absolutely bore me, and I couldn't think nothing worse to sit here and watch Man United versus Everton. I'd rather pull my toenails out with a pair of pliers.
Lovely. That's a nice thought. That's a lovely thought, Jimbo. Thanks for that. I'm glad I'm not eating. So, what does Coover say here? I'm glad you picked out Rashford and Fernandes, Kate, because it would have been unfair to pick on Anthony and his one goal this season.
Yeah,
what a
what they paid for him? 100 million. I mean, I can't see Man United getting back up there for a long, long time. They need to spend a fortune, and they need to spend a fortune on their stadium. They can't repair that stadium, can they? They need to
they've got to knock it down.
And they were saying on Sky Sports this morning how much money they owe. The Glazers borrowed the money to buy the club, so they owe so much money. I mean, they're just a mid-range team now. Sorry, they are.
Yeah.
The theatre of dreams is quickly becoming the theatre of nightmares now.
Yeah. Keep leaking.
Yeah.
Go on, Ellie.
No, I was going to say that's what rich men do. They don't use their own money.
Yeah.
They use other people's money, and then they just bank their own money and get richer and richer off football's back, because they're bleeding us with I mean, we've seen it this week as well with the ticket price increase and the no concessions for the elderly, which is disgraceful. But, you know, that's the way football's going. It is. It's a big business. I know we don't want to call it a business because it's a football game and it's a beautiful game, but it's getting spoiled. I said the other day on the WhatsApp stream, the WhatsApp typing thing, right? Yeah, the groups. Sorry, I couldn't get my words out there. I said that Danny Blanchflower said it in an interview. You should watch that, guys, because Danny Blanchflower said the football was getting ruined then by rich men coming in.
Kate, can I just say, someone's just put in the well, Jim really hates Man United. I do, NS Sports. I tell you why. Because they still think they're entitled to be the best team in the world, and they're nowhere near it. They're not even nowhere near the best team in England, let alone the best team in the world. And their fans talk like they are. They had their time, and they were the best team in the world, but they're miles off it now. Miles off it. What have they got to do to get near City and Liverpool and Arsenal? It's... I mean, they're years away from it. So to me, they're just a non-entity club now. And people might say that I'm stupid, but that's how I look at them. I never worry about them now.
You know what though, Jim? I always see Liverpool's the best team in England because they've achieved more than Man United and they've achieved more in Europe. They've doubled they've trebled what Man United have achieved in Europe because they've won Europa Cups and 6 Champions Leagues. Right, and they've won the league just as much as Man United, and they've done it on a shoestring budget compared to Man United. There
was a time, Ellie, where
they were the best team. There was
there was a time when we played Man United, and I used to think, oh my God, this is going to be painful. But it's not like that no more.
No.
And their fans still think they're entitled. You know, and you're only entitled when your team are playing great football, and they're miles off it, just absolutely miles off it.
I used to love the Man United team with Steve Coppell in. They were fabulous. They came down to at White Hart Lane, and they wiped the floor with us. It was 3-1 that score, but they could have scored 20 that game. They were all over us, and they were so exciting to watch. It was incredible, but they're like the shadow of themselves now.
Yeah, when they were good, Man United fans, but now they're not. So they can't give it all that, and they still try and give it all that.
Yeah, and because Manchester City have taken over, right, it's worse for them, isn't it? Like, if it was just Liverpool winning it, right, that would be bad as well, but they could maybe stomach that a little bit more. I'm not sure how Man United fans, they are rivals with Liverpool as well, but I think Man City taking their mantle has hurt even more.
Yeah, big up Steve D. Says, plus long before FFP, they nicked every player they wanted. I still remember Rio, 30 million 20 years ago. We rarely spend more than that these days. Ellie, spot on. Coppell was a great little winger.
Brilliant.
Big up Eugene. Good to see you in rest well. Jimbo, you can't answer this question because this is our wedded bliss this week. 11 games to go. How many wins for you? We're going to predict the scores of the last 11 games on our wedded bliss, but
okay,
I'll throw it to Chang first. Out of the final 11 games, how many do you think we'll win? I know it's difficult unless you've got the fixtures to hand, but I'm going to throw it to you as it was a question from Pottermac.
I have actually a rough prediction, or rather a rough estimate how many wins we're going to pick up from a possible 11. If we can even get anywhere near 2/3, or if it's at all possible, 3/4 of that, meaning we get somewhere around 7 or even 8 wins, that will be fantastic. My unbiased and rather grounded prediction is that we would get something like 5 or 6 wins most, with maybe 2 or 3 draws and maybe the odd loss from that 11, and that is even on our best day. It's going to be a very nervous and very nervy finish for us from between now to the end of the season, but you know, it's really 2 wins in a trot. That's 2 wins on a trot for us now, away at Villa Park and also at home against Palace. If we can make it 3 out of 3 against Fulham come Sunday, I believe it is. So what's there to stop us from, say, going on a run of maybe 4 or 5 wins before we play the likes of Manchester City, Arsenal, Liverpool, and also Chelsea? For me, right now, I'm not going to look too far ahead. I'm just going to focus on the games that we have ahead of us, the games that are coming up, and Fulham is the first and foremost that comes to mind. I have been receiving a lot of comments during my watch along with Colin and Jose over in Talk and Ball during the watch along, and people already asking even before the full time whistle, what would I think if we actually don't follow up the Aston Villa win with another win against Fulham away? And my answer was simple: we just take each game as it is, because in this Premier League there are absolutely no games that are taken for granted. If games were played on paper, there wouldn't be any entertainment at all, and that's, I believe, the beauty and the what do you call this, the intrigue in the Premier League and all the fixtures that are to come. So whatever may, let's just hope for as many wins as possible. I believe Big Ange has a plan to wrap up fourth even before the final day of the season, and if we were to finish maybe fourth or even fifth at the end of the season, I think it's a good achievement for the club, for Big Ange, and I really cannot wait to get into the coming rounds of league games for us.
Yeah, I think that's perfect. Elly, any thoughts? I mean, I'm with Chang. I just like to take every game as it comes. I don't like looking too far ahead.
Yeah, true. You got to, because otherwise you get too far ahead of yourself, don't you?
Yeah.
So next up is Fulham. It's going to be a tough match because they're like hot and cold, Fulham, aren't they? You don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Right? So we've got to be on our game, and we've got to make sure that we're professional, like we did against Aston Villa, and game manage when we're up. Yeah, but they've got some really decent players who can hurt you. So. And they're very strong in midfield with Paulinho. So yeah, I'd like to think we get 11 wins out of 11. If we do that, it'd be just amazing. I think it'd be incredible. But I'm not going to put my realistic head on. I'm going to say, right, I think we're going to win 9 of them. And
wow.
Yeah, I think we're going to win 9, draw 1 and lose 1. And I think that loss is going to come to Liverpool away.
Yeah.
And I think we got the beating of Arsenal at our ground, because like Mia said on her stream, yeah, we've had a very, very good record apart from last season against the Arsenal. So yeah, I'm looking forward to all the games as well. It's going to be an exciting end to the season, isn't it? With 5 games to go, if we put ourselves with 5 straight wins in that hat to push on, and finish as high as we can, and the others mess up, like I said, it can happen, but it's a big ask. But if it does happen, what an incredible end of the season that would be, Kate. Right, yeah, so we've lost our Kate, Jimbo. You taking over?
Oh, she gone?
Yeah, she's gone.
Oh, I can't do my prediction.
Sorry, I booted myself.
I thought Bobby Kay had been off the back.
No, I booted myself. What a donut. I was just going to ask. Now I forgot what I was going to ask. Oh my god, what was I going to ask? Oh, poo.
I think about the run-in, maybe the run-in to the league championship.
No. I will just say, Phil Pease put big up to Sava. Fair play to him for stepping back when the fun stop. Yeah, big up to Sava. He's leaving YouTube, closing his channel. So yeah, wish him all the best for the future. I will say that. NS Sports said, would you ever celebrate a Gooner scoring for England?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I don't like it, but we do.
Yeah.
I
prefer a Spurs player to score, though.
Yeah, me too. What did Coover put?
Kate probably nipped off to check her precious red shirt. It's okay.
Do you know what? I'm going to start banning people, Coover, so beware. Question for you all: how much will you laugh if Arsenal end up winning nothing this season? I might just do a stream of laughing for like an hour and a half. Nothing else, just laughing.
It won't be just a laugh. It'll be streaking down the road with my red knickers round my head. Kate's there, has nick 'em.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, it'd be so incredible if they don't win anything. Well, they've only
It
got
will.
one. Well, they've got the Champions League as well. Let's see how they go tonight against Porto. Come on, Porto.
I think they'll win tonight. I'm not going to lie. I do think. Yeah, look, I said it again. I'm not going to lie.
I know. Why don't you lie a few times, Kate? You're just too honest.
Yeah, I am. I do think they'll win tonight. And get through, but we'll see. Hopefully not. There was something I wanted to ask, but it's completely gone out of my brain. That's so annoying. I had it already. I knew I should have done a banner while it was in my head. No, it's gone forever. I hope Leo.
Are you going to ask us? Are you going to ask us where are we finish at the end of the season?
No, but I will. Chang, being as you brought up such a brilliant question, where do we finish at the end of the season, Mr. Chang?
Fourth. Solid fourth. I believe it's there for us to cement our top 4 positions. The advantage is fully with us now, having seen off Villa at Villa Park rather convincingly. And like I said at the beginning of this show, that we totally brutalized Villa. We totally just hit them where it hurts, and I don't think they're going to recover from this. But of course, there are still 11 games left. Anything can happen between now and the season, but I still fully believe, as I did way back in December during your first ever members call-in show when I was making my debut here on your very, very prestigious channel, that fourth would be the realistic target for us.
Yeah, I think if we get fourth, it's a fantastic season. Ellie, are you sitting with fourth? You're not going to say first, are you, Ellie?
No, obviously I'd love us to finish first, but a lot of things have to happen for that to happen. So it's like it has to be pretty much a miracle, really, doesn't it? Do I believe in miracles? Well,
I believe in miracles.
I was just about to say, where are you from? You sexy thing.
You sexy thing.
I would like to say third, but it's going to be a tough call because then we have to have either Arsenal, Liverpool, or Man United, one of those 3, not to do so good. But they've been for getting results. That's the problem. Now I'm going to say fourth as well. I want first. I want it to happen, but it's going to be a big ask.
Yeah. Jimbo?
I'm realistic.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah, we know what's coming.
11 games left. We win all 11. So it takes us to 86 points, and the other 3 all drop off and have nightmares. And we win the league.
That'd be so good, Jimbo.
Let's get rid of him. He's clearly crazy.
Taken out. That proves she's a gooner, Jimbo. Get the red shirt
Jimbo.
Back. Oh, no. Well, Jimbo, he's always the optimist, isn't he? That's why you've taken the optimist away from his name.
Yeah, Jimbo, you've changed your name. It's just Jimbo now.
I never changed it. I never put Jimbo up there in the first place. You done it.
Did I?
Come on.
I ain't got the brains to do that. You're having a laugh,
Forever the optimist. That's what you should read.
I'm going with Elly and Chang. I think if we finish fourth, we have had a fantastic season. So yeah, and I'm going to say fourth. There, Jim, you're the eternal optimist now. Daniel says the top 3 are clear of us. I don't see why Spurs fans are even talking about top 3. Was wondering, has Mr. Chang ever visited the UK?
Sadly, not yet. If that ever were to happen, that would really be my maiden voyage to the west, and I cannot wait to actually make my holy pilgrimage to N17 North London to see the stadium for what it is now. I mean, looking back, I still feel that all those years ago, when I had the opportunity to work on the new stadium way back in 2015, that was a chance in a lifetime, and I can only look back and regret now not having grabbed that opportunity. But well, it is what it is.
Everything happens for a reason, Shane. It means something
everything does happen for a reason. Exactly right. So yeah, when the time comes for me to head over there, I will be sure to try and just meet up with anyone and everyone who's heading there for whatever match day that may be when I do head over there. Thank you for that question very much, Potato Stew. Thank you very much for that.
Oh my God, Chang. Do you know what? I used to visit the Grand quite often when it was getting built, probably as much as Chris Cowlin. And it's like enormous. And I would have loved to see you there with your safety hat and your yellow bib on. That would have been magic. You know what I mean? Look at it. Yeah.
Yay.
Oh my God.
Chang the builder, can we fix it?
The engineer, man. Yeah. You know what? It would have been marvellous to see you there. I would have taken you out for a nice curry or a nice Chinese as well.
When you eventually come over, which you will, Chang, we will all make sure we're there to welcome you to Tottenham. I'm going to finish it there because Ben's got to do a show on, and we have been invited on that show as well. So we're heading over to the coffee company. Chang, when can we find you next?
So this coming weekend, I'm looking to do my third watch along in a row with both Senor Garcia and Mr. Sievers over at Talk and Ball. I'm also trying to do what I did on Sunday when I did what was a very daring dual watch along on two separate channels, which was Spursvision TV and Talk and Ball. I had a lot of fun doing two simultaneous watch alongs on two different channels, although it was rather confusing for one channel to hear me speaking to another channel and the other channel not really understanding what it is I'm answering to, but that's very fun. And tomorrow, some 22 hours from now at 11 a.m. Wednesday morning, I'm going to be appearing with Miss Ash over in Talk and Ball, and also Eltel Cockerell, the View from Asia. I'm really looking forward to that. And also, hopefully, before the weekend fixtures, me and Mr. Eugene, we will try and work something out to do a weekend match day preview show over on Spursvision TV. So these are the few shows that I have coming up. Thank you again for having me, Mr. and Mrs. Boxall.
Anytime, Chang, you know that. Ellie, when can we find you next, lovely?
Right, so 4 o'clock I'm on with Jose on Eltel Cockerell, so that'll be exciting. I love Jose, he's lovely. He's such a gentleman as well. And we call him the administrator behind the scenes because he's always administrated everything. He's fantastic. And then I'm going to be on with you, I believe, again. Is it Friday I'm on with you as well?
Yes, Friday.
Yeah. Hopefully I'll get an invite on Bobby's show, Free Spurs Boys, Kuvan the Kang. I love that show. Brewing Bollocks as well, I love. And then where else am I? I think, on Friday I'm on with Ash as well on Talk and Ball. Come on. I love it. I love being with the ladies as well, especially because we know our ball and we can talk.
Exactly. Jimbo and I are back tomorrow at 1 o'clock for Wedded Bliss. Then Thursday, I'm back with my beautiful niece, where we'll be talking about aliens this week. So yes, yeah, exactly. Thank you everyone for watching. I'm gonna have to go because you're on with me.
Yeah, and I'm on with. We're on Ben's in a minute as well.
Yeah, and we're just. I've put you on a redirect. And go over now to Ben's birthday party. Thanks everyone for watching. Bobby and Kuva for the super chats. Have a great day, everyone. And as always, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.